I haven't done a car stream. What do you call it? I haven't gone live in my car in a long time, and I never have on this podcast, but I am now. And what's going on, everyone? I am Steve, the Wild Card Harrison, and that's not really my middle name, but here I am on a rather overcast Saturday. And you might be wondering how you landed here on this stream with this beautiful four-eyed face. But man, can he grow stubble? Oh, dude, it has been it has been a time since I thought I was going through it in 2024, but past 2 months, man, they have tested my will, and I won't really get too much into it other than had a couple family members with some health scares. They are doing all right, but that halted things for a while, and also just went through been going through some career changes, and that's also nothing that I want to get deep into. But on my feet, bills are paid, made in the shade, and I'm done. Ugh, got a dog hair. Got me. I haven't been on a stream since, Lord, I think it was in January. I don't know if it was the Austin Lane interview, but running two podcasts can get hairy, as you just saw. But I love my sports. Actually, I'm starting this late because I was checking into the highlights of the UVA and Duke game that I missed because I had that on before I started. So got on here a little bit later than I usually do, but I haven't done this podcast for 6 months even. So it's really something that it's in the works, but I wanted to do something outside of just sports coverage and cover MMA, boxing, bare knuckle jujitsu, all that stuff. I'm no expert on any of those things by any means. I would say if I knew about any sport inside and out, it would be I'd say baseball because I played that the longest. But I have been around the UFC since the early 2000s, watching it as a fan. I have lived in a house with fighters. I have gone to some training sessions before, and you respect the guys who really put in the effort to be pro athletes, and that's what made me. It's just their attitude and how disciplined martial artists are. I think especially compared to other sports. I mean, you look at the NFL and the athletes in the NBA and just, how they're showing up for only so many games during the season. They're getting paid what they are. It's crazy because you've heard people talking about the pay in sports and how selfish people can be. I think that started in the 90s, but now, I mean, it's just, I haven't even watched, honestly, I've not watched the Super Bowl in a couple years. My team wasn't in it, but I also just, I'm not as big an NFL fan as I used to be, honestly. It's just the taste left in my mouth is, it's just not there anymore. It doesn't excite me. And it's the same with watching the NBA. I mean, I used to watch it a lot more in 2009, 2010 when I was in high school, but it's Those days have come and gone. Now I do get into March Madness for sure, which I'm doing my first thing for the post game pod in a while next Tuesday. I'm actually going to be at the final Florida Gators home game of the season. And that's not their final game of the season, their final home game, playing Mississippi State. And then I think they have one more. They close out the year against Kentucky, who is struggling right now, as is UVA, who I mentioned a couple minutes back. But I am keeping my foot on the gas pedal, guys, with this show because unexpectedly I took the past month off and really just, I had to be ready to jump in the car at a moment's notice for the couple of things that I've been dealing with involving my family members. But all is well on that front. And tonight we have return of Brandon Moreno and Moreno versus Kavanagh. I think that's going to be. I feel like this card is going to be better than people expected. I mean, my God, the Strickland card was struggling, which I'll get into that in a moment, but it finished strong. And that's what people wanted to see, was Sean in an exciting fight, because it was so lackluster, the last performance at least, against. I mean, they wanted to see him versus Izzy, not him versus DDP in the second fight. You probably can hear in the background, it's apparently biker week here. Every week is biker week when you're near Daytona. But I had Fluffy winning that fight, and you got to give Kevin Holland the credit for laying out the blueprint. Sean threw the nasty knee to the body, and Fluffy kind of was, I don't want to say he was in a full-on panic, but he really did seem like he was lost after a while, and then it was just, and it's tough because I like Fluffy, and I've had a training buddy of his on my show before, and I was supposed to have another guy who is in the UFC who trains with them on the show, but that one has not yet come together. But Sean said quite a lot, being Sean, leading up to his fight with Fluffy, and goes in there, does what he's supposed to. After the win, he's at the post-fight presser, and they cut his mic. Now, I don't know who gave the order to do that. I don't know what you expect. Why would you even interview him, period, when he said controversial things before? They cut his mic, and is that a good look for the UFC? I want to know in the comments, because this company has built their reputation off of, we are the free speech. You can get away with just about anything here within reason. You can't be O.J. Simpson, but you can't. I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at starting to think about Norm Macdonald jokes, but you can't go in there and do certain things that are, like you can't domestic violence. And I would think all sports should take that seriously and not just, put out we don't condone this and we're taking every step towards assuring that there is justice. And then once that post is out there, forget about this. No, you need to die on the sword. You need to stand by, we are the free speech platform. And you cut a guy's mic off. I don't know what's going on with the UFC, man, but it's not, I don't care what people say who are these loyalists to it. It's not the product that I fell in love with. And you can clearly tell on top of that, that Dana White, the guy who's the damn face of it, doesn't care. He's been checked out for God knows how long because all he cares about is gambling. He would sit here and actually, like, this is either how big a liar he is or how delusional he is. But Dana White, hearing what I'm saying right now, would actually try and argue with me. It's like, are you not aware that the internet exists? Okay? Because you're digging yourself a grave. That's what you're doing here. And if you want to go to that spot, great. Just go and focus on boxing if that's what you want to do. I mean, deal with getting boxers Connor Ben money. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to for some people to feel bad for athletes, but I get what Sean O'Malley was saying. I get why he's frustrated that he's built up his name and he's the star and he's not getting that kind of money. I mean, you don't have to fight, but then again, you are kind of roped into some things. So it's not like it's just this thing where, oh, you could walk away and not fight, you know? That's yeah, that won't do anything to your career. I'm frustrated with where the UFC is right now. It's a lot of people walking by here, but I think you get what I'm saying. I think they should have not gone that route with Sean Strickland after the fight, no matter what he says. Dance with the girl you brought with you to the dance, as Ken Stabler said, and go go and let this guy. I there's some guys where it's like, okay, Bryce Mitchell. I don't even want to go down that path, but like Sean Strickland just says, he says some things sometimes that you're like, Sean, like, saying that, oh, women's MMA sucks. It's like, well, not every female fight sucks, and not every female fighter is useless to watch. I mean, and Amanda Nunes, I don't care what your thoughts are on Gina Carano and Ronda Rousey. There are going to be some people who are watching that. So, yeah, apparently some people care about that. Now, do I want Rousey to get handled and I have my side on that? Sure, but at the end of the day, I do side with women's MMA is important. Women's boxing is important. Women's sports, I don't watch it a whole lot, but at the same time, I have no problem with it. That's I think what I'm saying here. But Sean, he made it an interesting fight week. I have to give him that at the same time. So to cut his mic, bad look for the UFC. I mean, really, and you guys are the ones who are sitting there getting behind the president who claimed he was going to not be the party of censorship, and look what he's done with the the group that starts with a J. So we want to play Wheel of Fortune at a W and an S. Let's see if you can figure that one out. But yeah, I didn't like that. But congrats to Sean as far as the fight goes. Hell of a game plan. Respectful in the octagon after he won. And, you know, where does he go now? I think it has to be him and Hamzat because I sat here on a live stream that Zahabi was doing not long ago. He was doing a live stream on his channel, and I got in the comments and I asked him about who is the most exciting fight in that division right now. And he said for hardcore fans, Fluffy, I think, has probably the best chance of anybody out there right now besides Nasruddin, which is something that even Hamzat's camp has said that they want to fight him. Apparently now Hamzat has a fight confirmed. We don't know the opponent yet, but there's a reporter um, at Real Kevin Inc. I'm blanking on his actual name, but that's his tag, and he posted this story that I reposted yesterday that said that there is an opponent confirmed for him. So we're going to see what happens with Hamza, but I think it makes the most sense to have Sean fight him now. I mean, if DDP couldn't get it done, I don't think Sean's going to beat Hamzat, but I think that one does make sense coming off a win against Fluffy. And also yesterday there was the news confirming another big fight with Tim Elliott and Steve Erceg, and also none other than one Alex Pereira. He will be vacating his belt. So now Yuri is going to fight for the title. And I think that's what they're doing. I think they're angling for Yuri to win the belt and get back in there with Poatan a third time. It's like, why? I believe Yuri's going to win, but I don't know, folks. But tonight, it's going to be an interesting card. We have uh, David's fighting Marlon Vera, and he just beat Rob Font. That's the co-main on that one. Interesting fight. I really want to see how Marlon handles his game plan, if it's going to be ground heavy or if he tries to tire him out. I don't know. I feel like if I'm him, similar game plan to Rob Font because he's a little bit more fresh than Marlon Vera is. We'll see how both of them do in the. I mean, it is a big moment for David because this is his. You could make an argument, probably the biggest fight of his career so far, maybe next to Rob Font. So I can't wait to watch that. Plenty of good action coming up in the next couple months. Buddy of mine, as I mentioned earlier, Austin Lane, he's going to be fighting in England when we have Murphy and I always get his name wrong. Bosvar, Bobsar. I always get that name wrong, and I apologize, but it shows you that I do know those guys exist. It's going to be an exciting night of fights tonight, and I think it's starting to heat up this year for the UFC. But put more effort into the product like you used to. Stop with this, get Dana out of there for God's sake. I've never wanted someone forced into retirement more. I've never wanted them ever forced into retirement. I want him gone. I don't want somebody sitting there saying, if you don't like it, don't watch. Okay, Dana, I think it's more that we don't like you. So, uh, don't give me a press pass. I'll stand by that, because I danced with the girl I brought with me to the dance. It just are the glory days of the UFC behind us, folks? I don't know. It is a legitimate question, though. If we don't have guys defending their belts as much anymore, especially because say what you want about Connor, that is what made him great, was him jumping in there any place, anytime. Poatan, I mean, now guys are not fighting as much during the year. Even Hamzat, he was jumping in there a lot, and all of a sudden they're fighting two fights a year, if that. I think Marab is really the only one who's doing that now. Poatan was, but he earned his spot. So is he going to keep doing that? I don't know, but I think he's going to go in there and I think be on. I don't know. Feel like they are angling for him to be on the White House card. Connor, I mean, putting out that day 15 tweet recently. It's anybody's guess. I mean, it It really is, if he's gonna even fight again, but I feel like he will somewhere. I just I don't know if he's gonna be on the UFC card. I'm not confident in it. I think they're trying to angle for Ilya and Justin, but hopefully Poatan can make it onto that card to make it just as interesting as Connor. Does anybody, no offense to Connor, want to watch him now fighting Carlos Prates? I don't think so. But that's all I got for you all today. Appreciate you sticking with me. I love doing these little car streams whenever I can. Sitting here looking like a maniac in this parking lot, but just wanted to touch base, see how everybody's been, update you on what I've been doing. I'll have official show coming up soon with new guest, doing a fight companion for the next big card and the one for the card in England, because my buddy's fighting on that one. So stay tuned and enjoy your date tonight. Enjoy watching the fights, whatever you are doing. Make it count, son. Me, I'm counting on opening this car door now because, oh my God, why am I wearing a jacket? It's in the mid 60s. So, peace and go Duke.